Happened to Waldo?
Okay. We should now be live on YouTube.
All right. I'm going to
All right,
start
people
recording.
should be listening to us.
Hopefully. We'll see. What's the episode number? 244.
244. Yep.
67316.
Channel moderators. That's what I'm seeing on the side of the screen.
I'm sorry?
Can they hear us in the chat room, or do they have to go to the YouTube channel?
They have to go to the YouTube channel, and there is a chat room there. But it's asking. It says that there are currently no moderators.
Fuck that. Paul says he can hear. Hi,
Yay.
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Yay, Chooch and Troy are actually using the YouTube's chat room.
I need to get the link here in a sec.
I'm not going to log into yet another chat room.
Are you gonna stick with the one on our site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got them set up side by side. I'm a geek.
That's not a bad idea either. I still want to find this fucking video.
Terry.
Huh?
Terry.
What?
Let it go.
I can't.
Terry. Don't make us put Casey's vest on you.
Yeah.
It would fit like one of your
Thundershirt.
bosoms.
She needs a hug.
It would fit one of her breasts.
Okay, I was only gone 3 minutes. What happened?
Terry is getting a boob job to make them bigger.
Oh, dear God. I'd tip over.
Okay.
And a Thundershirt.
And a
Thundershirt.
We are live on YouTube.
Everyone, we're not exactly sure what's going on with our streaming client for our site. It is down. We have sent in a ticket. Yes, we have paid.
To us.
Yeah, what was that?
It's refusing to talk to us.
It is going to refuse to talk to us. So yeah, thank you for kind of jumping over to Facebook. Jesus Christ, YouTube, and we will get the show started.
Well, where's the chat room for that on YouTube, Mike?
I had shared the link. So that's if you scroll to the right. Yes, it's on the right side. There's a little box that with everyone's little faces in it.
It's a little running scroll.
And I had to mute us.
Yeah, I turned the volume way down.
Oh, look at that.
To the right of what? I'm looking at the YouTube page, and I don't.
Hit live dashboard. Click on that.
I don't see that.
Oh, weird.
You know why? Because I think you're not in the G&T show account.
Yeah, I am. I'm at the. I can hear it on the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, but are you signed into? Are you logged into YouTube as G&T show?
As you? Do you have a YouTube account?
Yeah, and I'm logged in as me.
Huh.
That's bizarre.
There. See, I'm in. Excellent. Wow. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you. Midnight Shadow, everybody. Golf clap. Yay.
Yay.
The only thing I see, there's a little G&T show logo on the bottom right.
Yeah. Oh, but to the right of the actual. Do you have it maximized or something?
No, it's in the box. It's in the box that shows the bigger one.
Right. To the right of that, there should be a whole chat box to the right of the actual screen.
No. Oh, hold on. There it is. Okay, got it.
Was the chat?
Yeah.
Was the chat hidden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yay.
Okay, I don't know how long the delay is, so bear with us on that.
All right, Paul, I'm going to say now, give us the delay mark.
Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, check 5.
Because we know we can trust Paul.
La 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 la. When did YouTube get a chat? A while ago.
Hey,
Paul
there
just
it is.
answered.
So about 25,
Something
25
Was
Yeah.
it that
seconds.
long? Okay.
Seems like it. Yeah.
All right.
So, all right. Okay, we have a show, folks. Thanks again for all of your patience, and let's get this puppy
And I'm going to make
started.
Matthew Anderson in charge of if we get new people listening in the normal chat room, letting them know the link to this chat room. Matthew Anderson, you have been tasked.
You have a job.
And there's the link. So keep it handy.
Excellent.
And I am looking at both chat rooms.
Excellent. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the G&T Show, episode 244. I'm Terry Lynn, and across the table, it is the last battle of Gettysburg.
Wow, that was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa.
Well,
Yikes.
didn't you say something about it this morning? Wasn't today
Yes,
the anniversary of the
today
last
is the
battle of
anniversary of the
Gettysburg?
last day of the battle.
Oh,
Because
thank
the
you.
battle lasted 3 days. Joe Lantru, bitches. Yes, today was the last day. Today was the day of Pickett's charge.
Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry.
To my left, you're right. She's wearing her Thunder shirt. It's Terry.
Yes.
To my right, your left, wearing his long chainmail sleep shirt with his chainmail pointy hat and his chainmail shoes. It's Ceridium.
Kapla. Gotta be prepared. You never know when battle's coming, even in the
That's
middle of the
right.
night.
That's right.
Across the aisle from me, she's the dean. It's Jesfa.
Good morning. Happy Canada Day a couple of days ago. Happy July 4th a day early. And happy birthday to Dominic Keating 2 days late.
Aw.
Yes, I
Happy
was thinking
birthday,
of
Reed.
Sue 102 on Canada Day, as I always think of her, and Stacy and oh Christ, I'm blanking on her name. Oh my God, and I love her to death from Women at Warp.
Oh, Amy?
No, the one in Canada. Oh
Eva? No.
no, exactly. Why am I
Yeah.
blanking?
I don't know. I think you were confused and stymied by her beauty.
Jara.
Jared.
See, because I
Hi,
kept thinking
Jara.
Jesfa, but it's Jara. Hi,
Jara
Jara. I'm
Hodge.
sorry, dear.
Hello.
I love her.
She's awesome.
And also joining us, wearing his thespian gear today, because he's actor. It's Kajiro Vance.
Acting. Yes.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Bravo!
Because I'm-
Bravo.
Ha!
And scene.
and scene. And cut.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, let's start off. Oh, and Steve, are you with us too, sweetheart? Are you in the room?
Was
Yeah, I'm
He
still
was.
here.
Hi.
wearing his stealth gear.
I know.
It's Steve.
He's like the trickster today.
Hello.
Hello, Steve. Thank you so much for helping us get live.
Steve goes.
No worries. Well, always got to outshine my nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, he is pushing for that job. I'm telling you what.
I know. I gotta keep my enemies close.
And
That way I can stab them in the back easier.
that's
Steve,
so
I
not
would
the
say I got
Klingon
your
way.
back, but I really don't care. So
The
Oh
usual
my
then.
God. Well, let's start off with the coffee clutch and
Oh,
get through
hello.
it because we do have a lot to talk about. Some interesting things. Nick, what did you do this week?
I worked.
Yeah.
I
Janet, what
worked.
did you do this week?
School stuff. Lots of school stuff.
Are you hot for teacher?
My teacher is female with a small child.
Okay, and hi. Have you met me? Okay,
Ceridium, what did you do this
What's
week?
her name?
Who?
Aunt B. I was gonna say Aunt B.
Ew.
Aunt May in Avengers
Oh my
in
God.
Captain America was played by Fuck!
Oh my gosh.
Let's start
Played
again.
by Marissa Tomei.
And you
And
think
she-
Yeah.
I need the Thundershirts?
I know.
We're all wearing Thundershirts today. Everybody is.
It's one of those days.
Thundershirts unite.
I'm wearing Thunder shorts.
Thundershirts are go.
Thundershirts are go.
Bum, ba, 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 bum, 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 ba, ba, ba.
This week I wrote not one but two Star Trek fan films that require not actors,
I know.
but they require the Star Trek Hallmark ornaments in order to do.
Actors. Starfleet mom. Love it.
Yep.
Ornaments.
Yes, those are my players.
Did you see the Eugene T. Space Cow first movie?
Yes. It
Oh my
was
God.
Awesome.
I sent her back and I said, "You seriously are disturbed and need professional help."
Oh my God, I love her.
Like that's news, right?
Eugene T. Space Cow. If you guys don't know who Eugene T. Space Cow is, you really need to follow Starfleet Mom on Twitter.
I think
Freaking
Eugene has his
hilarious.
own
He
site.
has his own
doesn't he?
Twitter account.
And he does.
And his
He has
own
his own
Facebook
Twitter
page,
account.
too.
He has his own Facebook page.
He's a cow in space.
It's
He's
funny.
a space cow.
Ah,
Look at Sensei all double posting.
I know.
God, that woman's incredible.
I'm trying, but wow, this is gonna be difficult.
All right, what are we jumping into?
Let's see. Kojiro, what did you do this week?
He worked.
Played hotel as usual.
Yeah, I did too. I played work and I golfed. So that was
Most
my
people don't
exciting
know
news.
this. Alan, working for the hotel, when he goes to work, he dresses like Mr. Monopoly.
That's right. Top
Oh,
hat
with the
and a
top
monocle.
Monocle, everything.
With the top
Oh, I
hat
thought it
and
was Mr. Peanut, but okay.
No, 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 no.
They look alike.
Tails. Don't forget the coat with tails.
The coat with
Ah.
tails. The
Mr.
best
Peanut
part,
just goes to work, top hat, monocle, naked the rest of the way.
the best part about Alan's job
Shut
is we'll be doing like cooking with G&T or whatever, and he's running back and forth with his 12th man flag and acting all goofy, and then we'll go to where he works, and it's like, Don Corleone walks in. Hello, Mr. Shull. How are you? Nice to see you. And I'm like, if you people only knew.
It's the double life I lead.
It is the double life. And yes, and this week was pretty much Kojiro and I training at least one of our dogs to deal with his new Thundershirt. So he's doing okay today. He's all snoozy now.
He's afraid of the Thundershirt. That's just meta.
No, he's actually not. He likes it very much, but we want to. There's kind of a training session that goes with it, so they don't associate
Jesus.
the Thundershirt with the
Bad
thunder.
weather. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
you have
you
to
ha-
have him wear it some other time. when
So
there's
just
nothing
make him
going on.
listen to the Jackson Brown song. You'll love the thunder, you'll love the rain, and then he'll go, "Oh, if Jackson Brown says it, it's okay." And if
It's-
people are looking at the screen going, "Who's Jackson Brown?" I will kick you all in the taint.
Running on empty, dude.
That
Okay.
is one of the greatest albums.
Ever.
Ever.
Okay. We're gonna jump straight into semantic shenanigans. Huzzah! This week. Yeah, I know. This week, though, because the last time we spoke, we were gathering questions for John Van Sitters to answer in the official podcast called Engage. We sent those questions over, and thank you to Jordan Hoffman for gathering all those together from all sorts of different sources, not just the G&T show. And John Van Sitters was recorded, and the official podcast is now up, and you can listen to CBS's response to your questions about the fan film guidelines. And for the most part, I think we got almost all of the questions answered. Of course, his responses created a few more questions that I think need to be clarified. But Mike, I'm going to just kind of bring it out on you right off the bat. The very first thing that we kind of got out of it was that these guidelines do not apply to audio dramas or fanfic, correct?
That is correct. However, I want to remind everyone that does not give you carte blanche to do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, with the fucking language.
Yay!
Nice.
Woo!
Spawn down.
My ears.
All audio dramas should still be respectful of those rules. We don't have to follow them. Yes. They don't apply to us, but that does not mean that we get to do whatever the hell we want. We should respect those rules. We should follow them as we deem fit. That does not mean that we can do, fundraising and have no limit. $50,000 for an audio drama is a professional quality
Let me
audio
just say,
drama. I
That
am
and
sorry.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Somebody
that is
raises-
that is too much. If you do that, you're probably going to get in trouble.
Somebody who raises $1 million for an audio drama, I will suck them off. Okay?
So I'm just saying, yes, the rules do not apply. That is great news, but we need to be respectful of those rules. That's all I wanted to say.
I think that's pretty good advice. I think that, be respectful of the idea. Let's put it this way. Nobody wants to be the next Axanar and creating a situation where guidelines are going to have to come down on audio dramas or even fanfic, although I think that would be very, very hard to do. But yeah, I think it's good advice to just be respectful of the idea of what it is that you're going to be doing. I don't think that you have to worry too much about the length of time on your episodes,
Nope.
though. And I think that you need to be very aware of, the characterizations that you make. But for the most part, I think we're all in pretty good shape. I think you guys are in pretty good shape. Janet, do you have any comments on what you heard from the CBS interview?
Nothing much. I mean, I think that Mr. Van Sitters did his best to address questions. Certainly one of the things I think people need to keep in mind is that CBS and Paramount obviously want to retain their rights. They want to retain their interests. But at the same time, they want to show support for the fan film community, for all of the fan creator community, actually, and also diffuse the situation, and I mean, and it's certainly no great mystery that Beyond is coming out, and of course they want it to do well, and the 2017 program is coming out, and of course they want that to do well. So yeah, they do want to make the fans happy. But at the same time, they also want to, exactly diffuse the situation and head off a potential Axanar 2 off at the pass. And what we've also seen, and I know that's another link that's going to come up, where there is a fan production where they're kind of sort of semi-thumbing their nose at it. I wouldn't say completely, but they sort of cherry-picked and said, well, we're going to follow this and we're not going to follow that.
I'm
Well,
sorry, but how stupid do you have to be to kind of announce how you're going to break the rules?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, start with the fact that if you're going to break the rules, just break them, I mean, it's not a good
Why
idea to
draw
break
the
rules.
unnecessary attention?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
For the
Advertising.
publicity.
You bet your ass it's
Yeah.
advertising. It's like, oh, look, now everybody's going to come to us and start watching our shit.
And look how badass I am. Look how badass I am.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
no,
a
you're
tough
not.
nut.
Stop. Yeah.
When you get
Also-
the C&D, talk to me, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, speaking of movies and stuff, Terry, did you see the trailer for the new movie that Mike? I know I sent you the link for that new
Are
movie
we
that's coming out.
squirreling? Are we squirreling?
No, Mike,
Okay.
did you see it? You have the link, right?
Yes, I have the link.
Can you play it?
Sure.
What's it for?
It's a new movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Busy Little Beaver Productions is proud to present the true story of one man, his quest for greatness, and fall from grace.
I would rather be here eating sushi with you than anywhere else in the world. You, all of you here and everywhere, gave me this money tonight, and I accept it from you and only you. I love all of you, unless you ask me any questions. Then I will try to crush you. Now please forgive me. Good night.
A tale of desire, lust, greed, and sushi. Years in the making, brought to you by the visionaries behind Alex List and the award-winning Saving Peter's studio.
Alec, You've got to understand, it's an IP owned by CBS and Paramount, for Christ's sakes. This isn't some fantasy where someone takes care of things with a social media post about how great it'll be if it's ever made. This is the real world.
A tale of ego.
Obviously, you don't understand. What you're really doing is denying Star Trek fans the opportunity to see the greatest Star Trek film ever. How sad that is. Good afternoon.
A tale of passion.
Tear down that bitch of a bearing wall and put a studio where it ought to be.
A tale of power.
No dissenting views. What's dissenting opinions doing on this webpage when I told you no dissenting views ever? I take and take till I'm half dead, and I hear people saying he's lying and the financial report is a farce. And what do I get? Donors who care as much about the film actually being made as they care about the truth. What's dissenting opinions doing on this thread? Answer me! I buy tasty sushi and you say that's wrong. You do. $300 in sushi being talked about on a webpage. We'll see how many dissenting opinions you've got hidden there somewhere. We'll see. We'll see. Get on that computer. All the things not praising me are coming out. 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 Out.
Oh my God.
You've got any more? We're gonna see how many dissenting opinions you've got on this thread. Dissenting opinions? Why? Why? Terry, get on that webpage. Get on that webpage! You get to work on the most amazing Star Trek mind in the world, and you don't care if the truth is discussed in the dissenting opinions. And this thread looks like it's some actual place where people can ask the person who took their money to be accountable. Get up! Get up! Clean up this thread!
A tale of failure.
Why can't you give me the respect I do? Why can't you treat me like I would be treated by any acolyte on the street?
'Cause I am not one of your cult!
Busy Little Beaver Productions brings you the motion picture events of the year. With Randy Quaid as David, no dog in this fight, Gerald. Dustin Diamond as Rob Burnett. And starring Bernie Coppell as Alec Peters. This is Alec Dearest.
Rob! Bring me the sushi!
Alec Dearest is not yet rated.
I'm disturbed.
And scene!
Oh my God.
Bravo, bravo.
Bravo.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm waiting for the C&D.
For one, that clearly falls under.
From who? Faye Dunaway?
It's
Yeah.
transformative fair use, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh
it's very-
And
Jesus,
parody.
that was hilarious, you guys.
We did it in secret too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I
Sorta,
had
I
the
heard
idea.
yelling down the hall yesterday. I had no idea what it was about, but that's fucking
See-
hilarious.
I had the idea Friday driving home from work, and I was literally laughing out loud, writing it in my head. And as soon as I got home and I just penned it, and if people are fans of Mommy Dearest, you will recognize the changes.
Oh my God.
Nope, Chooch, no defamation suit there. It's called parody.
We had told Terry that we were going to record something, and because there was yelling, I hope that she was assumed that it would be something in Klingon.
I really did. I thought that maybe it was something for Gates.
And
Seriously,
thanks
I
to-
did. I thought it was something for Gates.
Thanks to Ross, and happy birthday, Ross, for
Happy
jumping in
birthday,
and doing that.
Ross.
Yay, thanks, Ross.
Oh, that was hilarious, you guys. Too funny. Well
And I
done.
believe that's our first original drop-in type thing like that.
It really is. It really is. We gotta do more of that. That's fun.
Oh, well,
Alan,
did you hear the titles of the other two?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Alex Liston Saving Peter's Studio?
Alan, you did
Yeah.
such a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bravo, sir. Bravo.
You told him to
Yeah,
go
I
over
had to
the
sit
top,
there
and
and
he did.
stream Mommy Dearest in the background so I could remember how the scenes went.
Yeah, he would watch, like, the scene and then do that portion, then watch
Oh
the
my
next
God.
part, and then to get it. And then, Alan, I did watch Mommy Dearest again after we.
Oh, no.
I had to. I love that movie.
Too funny.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Terry, I wanted to find a way to. Don't fuck with me, fellas. It ain't my first time at the rodeo.
It ain't my first time.
I was thinking, it ain't my first time at bankruptcy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, so that so there you go.
And Mike found the most perfect music for that.
Yeah, you did, Mike. Well
Thank
done.
you.
I think that kind of does it. Do we have so I do have a question for Janet, because I am getting some straggling questions in from some of our listeners with regard to the lawsuit.
Okay.
Um with the exception of potential discovery, which we all know is allegedly open right now, and they're not just Axonar, but CBS has confirmed that they really have, and they really are trying to negotiate a settlement. For all intent and purposes, the timeline to name does or to add additional parties really has passed, correct?
Oh yeah, that came and went. It's gone.
Okay. Because there are, as you can imagine, there are some people that are still concerned that they would be brought in, but part of me was like, I think that's kind of done. And they would have to come across something in discovery that would be new evidence type of thing.
Exactly. I mean, if Mr. Peters is deposed, which I assume he would be, and let's say after a day of depositions or whatever, he it gets slipped in there, and he says, "Oh, and by the way, John Smith was in charge of our books, and he told me to do X or whatever, or he said I could, or he said I could spend Y or whatever." Then that person is, would be on the hook, and they would, and they would have,
and they would still have the right to bring that person in as a party.
Absolutely, because
Right.
because discovery would have opened that up. So I wouldn't say, like, you can all go out and burn anything you've got and dance in the streets naked or just wearing a thunder shirt and have a grand old time. I'm not going to tell you that.
Right.
But at the same time, I think you can probably, get off DEFCON 5.
Right. There you go. Anything else for semantic shenanigans? My dear? Oh,
I did see that they were talking about making a documentary about what they're going through.
yeah, but that,
Yes.
believe it or not, was, I think, always part of the intention. I think that's always been part of their intention, was that, especially from Robert Meyer Burnett, who
How are they
makes
going to make it
documentaries.
if they lose and they can't even say the word Star Trek?
Because
Well, we shall see.
documentary is commentary, my dear.
No, because never mind. I
Yes.
was making a joke about.
Sorry, I
All right.
literal thinker. Sorry.
I
Okay.
know.
I have seen also sort of a little bit of speculation of, well, we could just throw in a bunch of the effects and and throw a documentary around it and and release that because it would be transformative, fair use, yada yada yada. Well, at some point it gets into sort of a substantial question of how much of it is actual fair use commentary, documentary kind of
Mhm.
stuff. We're talking about, and this happened on the, on the 21st of July, and and that happened after we opened up X or whatever. That's when we're talking about a factual recitation, we're absolutely within fair use territory.
Right.
But when we're throwing a bunch of visual effects on the screen, and we go on for that for 2 hours, and then for 5 minutes we say, oh, and by the way, this is our documentary. Yeah, that ain't fair use, folks. It's a any judge is going to look at that and say, well, you could have gotten your point across a hell of a lot faster. And while we're not suppressing your freedom of speech, and we're not even suppressing your ability to comment on what happened or memorialize the history of this this Michigas, but at the same time, you didn't need to do it quite so much. So. It might be that's the sort of thing that could potentially be allowed in part. Again, it would have to be litigated, though. So keep
Right.
that in mind, folks. That's yet another thing that could be opened up.
And they do have to, not that but they do have to be very, very careful of what they say and how they say it. Because if there's anybody who thinks that they understand libel and defamation, it's somebody who continuously throws those terms around and doesn't really
and
clue into
Alec
what
is
they
telling
are.
people they don't know what fair use is.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah. No, regarding Axanar itself.
Oh, regarding Axanar itself? Yeah, well,
But he is a lawyer by training, so.
I do want to circle back quickly to the other production. I think they're called Raven, where they were sort of cherry picking what they wanted to follow.
What they
and
said that they
didn't.
were going to follow, right?
Yeah, and one of the things they said they didn't want to follow was the length
time limit
requirement.
Right.
And the time limit requirement, while yes, okay, fine. I'm gonna give you sort of like, you don't get a gold star on this one, but you do get sort of a half of maybe like an orange one, okay? In the sense that, yeah, you're right. It's not, that's not in black and white, black letter copyright law about length of time. However, and here's a big fucking however for you.
Second fuck of the day, one from me.
Woo!
Nope, one
Take a
from
drink.
2, 3.
Is that the length issue, that the time limit issue, goes not to copyright infringement, but it goes to damages.
Yes.
And the damages part is because it's a question of brand confusion. When the outsider, the casual fan, not you and me, we're all hip deep in this stuff, but consider how when Renegades was thrown up on the screen on CNN, for crying out loud, when they were talking about a new series, they put up Renegades because they didn't know any better. That's the sort of thing we're up against, folks. It has already happened on a major news program. Now, you can yell at CNN, you can laugh at them all you like, oh, bad journalism, yada yada yada. I'm with you on that. I'm on your page. It doesn't matter, though. What means is, could a reasonable person confuse the two? And by taking away the time limit and running roughshod over it, when you create stuff that is of the same length and it otherwise looks pretty much the same, we all know this is a remix culture we live in right now, folks. People grab stuff all the time. They chop it up. They repurpose it constantly.
Hi, Kanye.
If you make something long, it's going to be confused.
Well, and I was thinking about this when I read the little commentary from the guy at Raven. Okay, so he's saying, well, this isn't technically copyright law, so I'm going to ignore that part of it. But it seems to me that this is what the guidelines are saying that, you know what, we're going to be tolerant of certain, and this is CBS talking, that we're going to be tolerant of certain infringements on the copyright for certain things. We're going to allow you to do your fan films, but we're going to say these are the guidelines. To me, that's like saying that this is what we're going to tolerate before we are going to initiate a suit. So if you stay within this, we'll look the other way. But as soon as you breach that, that's going to be past our tolerance and we're going to sue. And so to say, well, I'm going to ignore that is kind of like telling them, a big F you. You know, isn't that kind of
You
what
can
it
say
seems like to
fuck
me?
here.
Yeah, it's not technically copyright law, but it's a company saying we are going to tolerate to this point.
It's actually showing the allowances that they're making, and I find it reprehensible that somebody's going to go. And on top of it, they've also said that they're going to ignore the compensation aspect of it. I'm sorry, why are you paying people to make a fan film?
Well, but again, the company said we'll tolerate this, and then they thumb their
Right,
nose at it. So
right.
they're just opening themselves up for a lawsuit,
You
and
just have to kind
even
of go, what
probably
are you, a fucking idiot?
yeah, and an even more stronger suit because we said this is what we told you, and you thumbed your nose at us.
And
So
once
now we're going to come
again,
after you.
Raven, you don't own the IP. You don't own it. You're never going to.
Right.
Oh my God, you're stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a
Janet,
very poor choice. Yes.
did I see a post from you that forensic accounting is going to be happening?
I don't have anything specific. I don't have dates or anything like that. It's nothing like that.
I mean, we're assuming that it's going to take place if discovery continues, whether or not the public is ever going to see the results of that depends on whether or not the case gets settled. If this case
And
goes to trial, then you better believe we're going to see
Yeah,
it.
they're.
what if they find
I'm
that
sure
things
they're
are being
talking about it.
hidden?
What's that?
I'm sorry.
What if they find things being hidden and moved around in an attempt to be hidden?
Well, for one thing, the attorneys, possibly on both sides, might start to be under an ethical obligation to reveal this stuff to the Attorney General's office.
Yeah, there might be a deposition full of, I cannot answer that for I need to take the fifth.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it goes from being just a civil suit and suddenly possibly being criminal.
Yeah,
Couldn't it?
exactly. If it becomes where there could be incrimination, then not only do you have that, but you also potentially, under our ethical requirements as
But
lawyers, you may have to
it,
be in contact with
right.
the AG.
But it's also very important for people to understand we don't have any information along those lines. We really don't. Until the evidence comes out and everybody gets a chance to look at it. The case may settle and we may never know.
Yeah, because if you say I've gained this much through these crowdfunding campaigns, but can only account for 2/3 of it, that's going to raise some red flags.
Yeah, because the whatever has been obtained certainly can go to damages, and that's where the forensic accounting absolutely has a big hook to hang on, is not so much to be pawing through his books to see whether he bought sushi last week.
Right.
It's to see what are the totals here, because the spreadsheet that they released, first off, it's not audited or anything, and it's useless anyway because the numbers don't add up.
Right.
So no matter what, you need the numbers to add up. So you've got to have him coming in with receipts and documentation, whatever it is. Whether it's I've never done crowdfunding, so I can't tell you exactly how it works. But I imagine that Kickstarter and Indiegogo release something to you, because for one thing, they've got to they have to cover their asses in case the IRS comes after them.
Yep.
Now, Sun says forensic accounting and has a picture of a stunned cat.
A forensic accountant is, for all intent and purposes, an expert that somebody can retain to review the documents provided or to look at in discovery in any kind of a case when it comes to figuring out what damages may have occurred or what violations may have occurred.
It's basically following the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are virtually always CPAs. These are experts. These are people who would be sworn in as experts, and
Right.
In a court of law, probably to they would present a report, but they would also be an expert who would be called in, probably the person who prepared the report, assuming that they were alive and available, who would explain exactly what it said.
Right.
But that's pretty standard operating procedure.
Yep.
And usually these are folks who do this on a regular basis, by the way.
Yeah, most experts, the best experts, when you're looking for an expert to work on a case, you want somebody who's pretty, uh, of course, unbiased. You really want somebody who's worked on both sides. You want somebody who's done work for the plaintiffs. You want people who've worked for the defense. And the reason why is so when they get, questioned by an attorney in a deposition, they can actually show I don't always work for the defense. I don't always work for the plaintiff. But you also want somebody who works as an accountant or whatever their specialty may be, um, full time. So, like when you're hiring an expert doctor, what you want is a doctor who specializes in the situation that they're covering. Plus, you want somebody who's still working as a doctor. You don't want somebody who's necessarily been retired for 30 years because they're kind of out of the loop. So, when you're dealing with a forensic accountant expert, you're going to hire an active CPA who has a lot of experience working in forensic accounting, meaning that they understand going back in time. Forensic just means going back in time and trying to determine what occurred through the corpse that they've been handed, meaning the books. And it's how things were as opposed to how things are. And it's an interesting field, and it's also highly specialized. So the people who do this are not dumb by any stretch of the imagination. So if they decide to do this, and if they're moving forward with these kind of experts, we will not know about it until trial.
Yeah, unless there's a motion or something where a report or a portion thereof is attached to it, or there's some reference made,
Yeah, it would
we have
be,
no
I
idea.
think it would be pretty rare if we actually see the responses or the expert reports on PACER, though.
Yeah, very, very. It might be mentioned in passing. It
Yeah.
might be an exhibit in a motion, but other than that, no, we're not going to see it. It's going to be kind of quiet.
Yep. Exactly.
If we're gonna are anything else on semantic shenanigans? Because I'd
No,
like to.
we can
Okay.
refresh and stuff.
Fan productions. I had posted in the chat room a few
Yeah.
videos. The first is Needs of the Mini. This was created before the fan fiction guidelines, but this shows the kind of story that can be told with a limited time frame, within a limited time frame.
And a really limited budget.
Yes.
Mike and I watched this one almost at the same time, and I was highly impressed.
Yeah. Also, the Chronicles of Langclose. This is one of the first fan films created specifically to adhere to the guidelines. So both of those links will be in the chat room or in the show notes, along with Starfleet Mom's Eugene the Space Cow episode, which also adheres to the guidelines.
I think it's great. I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of fun, great dramas told in short stories. Why do people like? Here's the other thing. Why do people like short stories when it comes to, Star Trek? How many anthologies sell very, very well, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why is because they're like one shots. You get an idea of a great, short story that tells a lot of great character stuff. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of that.
And
These
if
links are
short
great.
stories were good enough for Edgar Allan Poe, they're good enough for you pokes.
Seriously though, I didn't get to see any of the Chronicles of Langclose, but I did get to see the Needs of the Many, and I was, like I said, it goes to show how you can tell a really great tale on a low budget with one camera and a little bit, not even a whole lot of sets, two people, mostly close in headshots, because it's all a conversation between them over
Over a com.
con. And it's just really, really well done. And
Mhm.
my kudos to the needs of the many. You did great. And it's an
Well,
enterprise era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
I would
people want to
also
complain,
add. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, I would just add quickly that a lot of these are also there's an economy that goes into not
Yeah.
just the money, but
Yeah.
into the time as well.
Right.
So you cut the long credits and you put them together. So instead of having a page with one name on it, you have a page with 15 names on it. You find a way to do this faster. You get rid of the walking down the hall shots. This can be done, folks.
Look, we're a country that faked putting a man on the moon. You can do this. Okay?
Oh boy.
Buzz Aldrin's gonna come over and kick your ass.
Kick your
Yeah,
ass.
let him try.
Yeah,
Let him
he'll give
try.
you a bunch.
He'll kick your ass, Nick.
You think I'm unlocking the door? No.
There you go.
Land shark. Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin.
I also had
Candy Graham.
also for unofficial productions. There are also two links for some fan made things that I thought were very, very cool. One of them is a light up Star Trek USS Enterprise 1701. It's got it lights up in ways that it just blew my mind how detailed and intricate
It's
it
beautiful,
was.
isn't it?
And it comes with its own stand and everything, and it's like you can see the love and the effort put into this thing. So check it out, because I don't think you'll regret it. There's a whole gallery of images.
It's really pretty.
And then the second link is this gentleman. He created a flying model of the Enterprise D. This
Alan
radio
showed it to me the other day. It was kind of wild.
radio control. This thing actually works, and he's got I think 2 or 3 videos at the bottom of his page, at the bottom of his blog that cover how he made it and shows it flying in action. And I mean, fans are so creative, and it's not just with films, but with other things that they do, and that needs to be celebrated. And that's what I'm doing right now. So,
Yay. Very cool. Anything else on fan productions?
I'm done. That's it.
Let's get to some movie news because we didn't get to in weeks. So yay. So the third trailer for Star Trek Beyond is now out, and very fun. There's also some little one-shot snippets of like the bit where it looks like Uhura and Spock have broken up. There's also a new video of Rihanna's Sledgehammer song, which coming out. And I kind of want to touch on that real quick because the fandom, as they are wont to do, are panicking because there is a pop song affiliated with the movie. And you just kind of have to roll your eyes and go, really?
It's maybe a pop song, but I thought it was rather appropriate
Bunch of
I
for.
Herberts.
loved it. What was that, Nick?
Bunch of Herberts.
First and foremost, I highly doubt that the song is going to be made a feature within the context of the actual film. Usually when it comes to pop songs like this, they're the first song you hear at the end credits. Usually. And it's not the only song that's ever been affiliated. I'm sorry, what is everybody really in a tizzy about with regards to this song? I don't get it. Is it just because it's Rihanna? Or what? What's the problem here, folks? Or is it just the fact that it's yet another sign that Star Trek's moving forward without you? I don't get it. I love this song. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was just gonna say, I've seen some big deal come out about the fact that she's a Star Trek fan. Like
Yeah.
it's totally impossible, that someone
Well, that
like
goes
her.
back
I
to
mean,
the
it's like,
whole-
what? That's so fucking
That goes
stupid.
back to the real, and not just real fan. But I am going to say that goes to the, it goes to this true fan type of thing. It also goes back to that kind of understanding that that sometimes women tend to receive a lot of beef about their fandom because you can't. Oh, it's that fake geek girl thing, right?
Yeah,
There's
that's
that
bullshit.
attitude of is
Yes.
she's beautiful, she's talented, and she's really just using this as a means to sell. She can't really be a fan. She's just using it to get money out of you. It like somehow that the ability to make money off of the fandom disqualifies her ability to be a fan. And it just,
That's a good point, son. I'm sorry. Son says Rihanna is this generation's Whoopi
well,
Goldberg.
she kind of is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're gonna bitch and complain, but let's not look at Rihanna's fan base and how many of them, as shallow as it might be, might go, really? She's a fan. Let me take a look at it
Thank
and become
you.
fans.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, she brings in a different buyer persona. And by the way, is this because she's a woman of color, folks?
I have to ask
No,
that.
I think they would have the same thing if it was Justin Timberlake, to be honest.
Okay. I
Maybe.
mean,
I think it's
maybe,
just
and
because of
maybe
the whole
that's the
pop
case.
star thing. I really do. If it
Yeah.
People
was
can only
Justin
have one
Timberlake
interest.
or
That's-
One Dimension or somebody
Yeah.
like that, they'd have the same reaction.
Yeah,
People
It's the
you're
same
probably
are
right.
so
thing that comes up
one-dimensional.
Go
It's the
ahead,
same thing that
Alan.
comes up over and over and over again, that people somehow associate their adoration for Star Trek and make it their own, and then say, "Well, this is the experience, and what you're having can't be that. You know, you're not experiencing it the same way I am, so therefore you're not you're not a true
Think
fan."
about
And
this, Terry.
that's such bullshit.
It'd be like somebody saying to us,
Hi, Marky.
You're a fan of the Ramones and Star Trek?
Exactly.
Right, like somehow
Mark
that can't
McCullough
be.
in the chat room has a really good one, and that is, can you imagine the fallout if it was Justin Bieber?
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Let alone the
Johnny.
audience let alone the audience that he could bring, and even if, let's say, 2% of his fans checked it out.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people that is?
And it's younger folks too.
That's exactly
Yes.
what the
And
franchise
female.
needs.
Good God.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite excited, and I loved the song. I have to say, I really loved the song. I loved the video that came out afterwards. That I was taken by it. I really was. I think she's a talented woman, and yes. So I don't know. I think it also goes to the fact that there's an underlying jealousy of anybody who's successful, and she is definitely an extremely successful pop star, and people resent that for some reason because they kind of they hoard in on Star Trek, and they kind of hold it all in and go, this is mine, and I don't have to worry about being successful.
I think it's
And
the
and
geek
we're
thing because
yeah.
no one was surprised when Snoop Dogg said he was a Trek fan.
Yeah.
You know
Really,
what I
I
mean?
kind of was, but it was more not
Snoop-
surprised. Like, no way. But it was like,
That's cool.
No way. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
because nothing Snoop does surprises me.
Well, that's
Nothing.
Well, again, people pigeonhole people as one thing and don't realize they have more dimension to them. So, like somebody put in the chat room, there was this whole thing about Vin Diesel came out
Yeah.
recently saying he liked D&D, and it was like, whoa, how could that be? Because he's a human being and he has more dimension than just what you see on the screen.
I'll
Admit
even
it, how
Yeah.
much did you love it when you found out that Ice Cube was a hilarious guy?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
or Ice-T is, or those
yeah.
kind of guys.
They're
weren't.
hardcore.
Right.
They may be hardcore rappers. That's how they got their
But
start.
they're
But
big
that's not.
softies.
But that's
Yeah.
not who they are.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Well,
we see
look at the
how
shit that
we see
even the
how
congresswoman did in was in Michigan when she was running, and they found out that she played World of Warcraft, and what the other side
Sweet.
did to her and what everybody did to her was like, oh my God, she lives in this fantasy world. And I thought, she's playing a fucking video game. What is that? I don't if you read a book, you live in a different kind of fantasy realm as well. There's no difference between reading a book and and playing a video game. It's the same thing. It's like somehow, if you're not the quote unquote the the type, and I'm going to put those in capital letters, capital T, the type, that the general population thinks that you should be in order to play video games, in order to be a Star Trek fan, in order to be a Star Wars fan, in order to be, there's this preconceived idea as to what you're supposed to, what sex you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to look like, what skin color you are. And Star Trek has always kind of breached those preconceived ideas, and yet at the same time the fandom itself places those things on them, and the moment that a successful pop star who wears a Star Trek t-shirt, it's like, oh well, she's not really a Star Trek fan because she's just going to use you to make money. I'm constantly blown away by how stupid that very idea is.
We've come a long way, and I'm not sure because like we've got so many more female heroes now, or
Yeah.
heroines, if you will, than we
Yes.
used to. You've got Katniss Evergreen, you've got Black Widow, who's huge. Wonder Woman's about to have her movie. All these genre things, but we've come a long way from where Ellen Ripley
Yeah.
was basically what you could point to.
Taking that idea and one step further, if anybody watched anything from E3 this year, how many first-person shooter games, or even any game, has a central character female as who you play? The problem I have, and the problem a lot of other people are having right now too, is the fact that yes, we're starting to see a lot of female heroes in games, but there's still an idea that you can't be female and play them. That it's okay for the men to play this, but you can't. You're still considered. We still get a lot of feedback. We still get a lot of pushback.
I'm seeing that start to
I hope so.
dissipate, especially when you look at Twitch, and so many of the people streaming are female. And when they put out that the majority of the gaming market buying is female.
I have to admit, it's funny is that, one of the things I have admittedly a personal problem with that I'm trying very, very hard to deal with. And a lot of that comes to the way that women are raised and the way that women are trained to see other women. I understand this part of myself, but I do have sometimes a hard time with the prevalence of women who are now being shown on gaming shows or have successful videos and have successful following of their gaming on Twitch or whatever it is that they're on. All really young, beautiful, typically heavy chested, and wear low cut things in order to draw their clients or to draw their viewers. And I understand what the fact is. Good on them if what you want to draw is, people who aren't listening to you playing the game, but they're actually just kind of whatever. I don't want to diss them for that, but at the same time, I'm sad because if there was a real looking woman, and by real I mean the majority of women out there who are bigger than a size 2, who aren't getting the shots at becoming it kind of goes down to the same thing I have with sportscasting. You can have a homely looking guy who's got a great voice doing football coverage, but God forbid you're not gorgeous if you're a woman who's covering the sport. Yes, they're intelligent, they know their sport, but God damn it, when are we going to get somebody who's over 150 pounds?
You've never listened to the Yankees broadcast then, because Susan Waldman, she's very bright.
I'm talking about
Let me
visual.
finish. Has a face for radio and a voice for the deaf. It's just horrible. But she's an encyclopedia.
So she knows her shit, but she's on radio. What does she look like?
Well, she's on radio because she does
and that's
every
the
Yankees
thing, right?
game.
Yeah.
But she's a woman doing the franchise play by or color commentary. So it's not like that's a minor thing.
I guess it's just kind of, it goes hand in
At
hand with the
least
whole.
162 games a year.
I
This
just
year it
remember
will
when
only be
women were big
162.
and busty and had great voices and still got successful, recording contracts and stuff. But now you can't be a pop star. And this goes for men too, by the way, for the most part. You can't be a pop star now unless you're fucking gorgeous.
Hi, Clay Aiken, please. I win.
How many years was that? Yeah.
I know.
So
Steven Tyler is still being put in commercials, and let's face it, that was never, ever. That was an alien from Star Trek.
Oh, Steven Tyler.
Season 3.
See,
Ooh, yeah.
there was something awesome about rockers, right?
It's disgusting that Steven Tyler could get laid so much, and you look at him and you go, because he can sing? That's it? What? Come on.
Yeah, well.
Meanwhile, Morrissey's in the corner, hiding.
And I know we're squirreling here, and I am going to bring it back around to Star Trek Beyond.
Steve says he's big and busty and will never be a pop star.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's because you look like Meatloaf in Fight
No,
Club,
I do.
So.
Well, either way, I'm just kind of tired of the double standard. I'm thrilled with Rihanna's video. I think it's
women
wonderful.
make up more of the double standard than men. As
I'm
far
not
as
disagreeing.
savaging,
I'm telling
I
you,
don't get that.
That's true. True.
I'm telling you that I understand that. And it's a lot goes down to the way that we're trained, right? Is if there's a beautiful woman, that we're taught to compete and to tear them down, which is why it's very important for me as a feminist to look at another woman and go, you're confident, you're beautiful, and yet and I should be supporting you. I should be yelling to the tops of the mountain, go girl, go girl. And it takes a lot of concentration to look at somebody who's beautiful, deal with your own jealousy of that beauty, and still be able to go girl. It's hard work. It's hard work after a lifetime of being told that beautiful women are horrible. It's a lot of hard work as an individual to look at them and go, yeah, what you're really dealing with is your own jealousy, because I know I don't look like that, but at the same time, I'm comfortable with who I am. And why is it wrong for her to be comfortable who she is too? And that's kind of what goes around to that idea of, why can't Rihanna be a Star Trek fan? Why can't anybody be a Star Trek fan? And if you have to diss somebody or tear somebody down, you have to look at yourself. You have to
Zoe
look at
didn't get
yourself.
that kind of criticism, did she?
Yeah, I have to admit, I was excited about Zoe's casting as Uhura, because I think she's a phenomenal actress. My concern was is that they weren't going to give her and they haven't, as I knew they wouldn't. They haven't really given her a meaty enough role for me to celebrate that role yet. I mean, she's still 90%.
But you know what? By Star Trek standards, as a female, she's had way more to do than in any other Star Trek movie, series, or
True. Movie.
Yes,
I would say
true.
movie.
Yeah, movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Hell, she was the second banana, and she was the secondary
Yeah.
in Into Darkness. It wasn't
Absolutely.
even Spock or McCoy. I would say it was her. Now, granted, I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater because I just haven't wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
I may have to.
I think it was an unfortunate. The fact is that they made an unfortunate character choice with making her a love interest instead of just making her a part of the crew. But they've dealt with that love interest story pretty damn well. So I can't really diss it now.
And they gave her character a lot of growth from what Uhura was originally.
Yeah,
you know,
they did.
She's so I'm not complaining.
So additional movie news that has come out, TrekCore has released a few more photos of the finished production. By the way, it's funny how not very many people picked up on this, but during the Star Trek Beyond fan night, the infamous night when JJ and Justin Lin said that they were settling, or that the case would be going, the Axonar case would be going away.
JJ
That
also said it
same
wasn't
night,
Khan.
that same night, Justin Lin admitted, or had to say, I'm here for a short period of time because my final edit is due at 11 o'clock. Did anybody pick up on that? That he was putting the final edits on the film that night. So if anybody has any kind of an idea of how much time there is between the final edit being turned over to the production house and when the final movie gets released, that shows you how very little time there really is. So he put the final edits on that night last month, and then it went to Michael Giacchino, who was able to score the whole damn movie, record it. Now they're doing all of the sound effects and all of that stuff, getting all of that together, because all of that doesn't get done until that edit is completed. I just thought
Until
people
it's
should,
locked.
until it's locked, and he was locking the edit that night for just to get it off into post-production. So there you go, people. If there's an idea as to how little time there was between his locked at final edit and July 22nd when that movie goes live. And just think about all the prints that they have to make, get them out to the theater owners, how they have to distribute that film. They have to do the print on it. It's a remarkably complicated thing for them to have done. And they did it, I mean, rushed. This was a rushed film. It really was. So we have Rihanna's links will be up in there too, and then it's me not you clip, the one that we discussed with regards to Ahura possibly breaking up with Spock. We'll see.
It certainly looked like a breakup, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to gaming news. Da, da, da.
Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mention timelines
Absolutely.
real quick?
Absolutely.
A new update came out this week. I think it's 1.3
Oh, for timelines?
for timelines.
Yep.
And with it, we have the new
Battle Zone.
battle arena system, which is
I've played
PvP.
it and I've lost every single one of my matches.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I suck.
I'm not sure how they're doing the ranking. I think there's some kind of point system involved, but it's all behind the scenes. I have no idea how it is working. Because, for instance, on the Admiral level, I was at like level 50 or so. I took on a challenger at level 22 and ended up in first place. I have no idea how that math is
Wow.
computed. And it's also a running total. So, for instance, I played the first 2 days at Admiral level, and got up to number 1 and played a few more missions to ensure that I would remain at number 1 or in the top percentage for a while. And then the day ended, and I received my rewards. And the following day, I still received rewards, although I started playing at the basic level, because
Okay.
I need those basic schematics
Oh.
more than anything else. I have all the other ships, so it's like, okay. So I'm still receiving my rewards, although I haven't played Admiral level in like 3 days. So I'm not sure exactly how it's working,
Yeah.
how the scoring is handled, but it does seem to be a running total, and B, it does use some kind of point system that's behind the scenes. Another feature we also have a new event out this week. It's Federation the shuttle event. So also get in game, check that out.
The Caliphate.
Yes, it's all the Vulcans are in Ponfar.
I have something to
Oh
say
my.
about timelines.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Okay, you have your daily away team missions and your daily space missions you have to do.
Yes.
Timelines, people. It would be really, really, really nice if you could label, say, like I'm trying to level up Kira, just throwing somebody out there,
Mhm.
and you've got the 4 things that you've got to equip them with, and
Right.
you go in there. It would be nice if it was somehow marked, whether it was a space or an away team mission, because I despise scrolling through and trying to find a space mission.
Oh, if you tap on it, it brings up, if you select one of the missions that it's in her list of where you can get the item, the icon will indicate whether it's space or ground.
Yes.
If it's a ship, oh, just a ship, not a shuttle or any.
I
It's
tap on it and it pulls up.
A list of the
It'll
missions where
say
you can
like
get it.
beyond the call level 3.
Right.
Yes, and then it'll show the list of items that you can earn from that mission, and then on the far left there's an icon. That icon indicates whether it's ground or space.
Hold on, I'm gonna log in because I need to look
Sure.
at this.
If it's just a ship, and it's usually you'll see either a Galor or a Klingon bird of prey, or just a ship.
No,
That is
I
a
know,
space.
but
Okay.
I hate having to go through. Do
Oh,
it on
going
the.
that far?
Yeah.
Do it on the initial menu
I
where
see.
it's showing
When
like
it-
laser
S.
scalpel or
Right.
whatever.
Right. So when it
Parentheses
comes
S,
up and it says
parentheses
such and such
G.
episode 1, that logo should tell you, is it going to be a space or a ground?
I see.
I'm
So
with him. I get that.
yeah, so something quick and easy, whether it's like a parentheses G for ground or parentheses S or some kind of icon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I
I
have to
understand.
wonder.
I don't want to have to mine to try and find out
Right.
what it is.
I'm with you. I get that too. The other thing I would like to request, and I realize it's a big coding thing, and I realize it may not, but I would really, really love the ability for me to know when I get a new, I have 120, 110 crew.
That's all.
Huh?
That's all.
Yeah.
I have
But at the
140.
same time,
145.
do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't feel so bad.
I have 175. That
Okay.
just gives you an
So
idea.
so here's the thing. When you open up, because we all know we get the rewards from the time portal, and you have the ability to sometimes get like a
Mhm.
10 person, right? So you end up getting new crew. I would really, especially when it comes to low level crew, 1 and 2 star crew, I would really like to know
If you have it already?
if I have it already.
I know, I would too.
Instead of having to scroll and look to see how many Lursas do I have? How many, is this the same checkoff? Because I have a checkoff, but is it the same
One way
checkoff?
to make that list smaller is to one of the categories that they have skills in is to select that skill, and then that list is shorter than going through all your crew.
Yeah,
Right.
but the problem with that is not every version of a character has the same skills.
Correct.
No,
for
but
instance-
at least you can make sure the same
So if I have 2
character does
different
always tend
checkoffs
to have
and
the same skills, but
Yeah.
you can have different versions of Kira which have different skills.
Right.
Right.
And if you're looking for the same one, they will have the same skills.
That's true.
That is
That's true.
So it makes scrolling a little bit easier, but it's still a bloody nightmare.
But they've
doing the
already
scrolling.
kind of done it so like when the portal comes up and says, "Behold,"
It
and
tells
it
you whether or
offers
not you
the
have it.
3, it tells you if you already have it.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
agree
should
with
be
you.
available. Yeah.
exactly.
So I'm with you. I would
So that
love
you can just say no there and automatically get the training points. Rather
exactly.
Than,
I would like to be able to dismiss it right off the bat, get my training thing instead of having an artificially high crew count with a bunch
I
of level
see.
1s. I'm never gonna level.
and
I would
also
dismiss
like
them.
when the Behold shows up and it tells me I already have it. I've taken somebody that I thought I didn't have all the stars filled, and I did, and turning down somebody who
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the stars filled.
These are just little pet peeves. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, the hopefully in future UI updates, maybe they can do something that allows us better access and understanding of what our crew manifest is.
For those at Disruptor Beam, if you're listening, all of these comments that we're making show that we're playing the game. So please take it that way. That at least, You know, these are things that annoy us because we play it so much.
Yeah. I want to point out, since we're talking about a bug, another bug that's affected me personally, because of my Galaxy Note 5. That's what that's the device I play on. But when the Behold item appears,
It's too high up on the screen.
it hangs too low. You can't see
Oh, weird.
any information. Like,
Right, mine is too high, so I'll hit it to see what it has, and it's like above the top of my screen. So I'll see
oh,
maybe like the bottom line of it. I won't see everything else.
all I see is the top line of it, and it's like
Yeah.
I have no idea whether or not how many stars I have
Exactly.
filled.
Oh.
I have
So
the same issue on the
it's kind
Galaxy
of
S7 Edge.
okay. So it might Nick, you have a Galaxy or
A Samsung Galaxy
Samsung.
S5.
Okay, so it seems to be this is an issue with Samsung Galaxies. So hopefully, if they're paying attention, they can work on that. But please, it's annoying.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, I'm done now.
But this just shows we're playing the game a lot. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
don't
I
take it
like
that
I
we
said,
don't like the game.
yeah, I have to say I'll probably play a little more PvP, and maybe I'll just drop down and do some basic ones or something. I don't know. I have yet to win one, but
Were you
that's
doing it at Admiral?
yeah.
Well,
Well,
Yeah, that Admiral's a tough one to crack.
just keep. I've had 2 losses and like
Well, they don't have
40
one for
wins.
4-star ships.
So is that all you
Um,
have? Is 2 ships?
I have tons of ships, but the one I really want to play is my 4-star.
Right, but it's not taking away from this. If you play the other 2 levels,
How many? It's like going to Admiral. It's forcing me to pick the Borg, even though I have 4 other 5-star
Yeah.
ships.
no, you can scroll through which 5-star ships you have.
Yeah, there's a
But they're
bottom
lower
left
rank.
corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Their stats kind of aren't as good.
Yeah.
Also, if
then
you at
don't
least play
complain.
one mission to actually get ranked, then you don't even need to play again because it carries on your position. So you just stay ranked, and you can keep on a daily basis
Yeah, but
getting
she's
the
lost every time.
schematics.
Well,
She
you
needs
have
to get ranked.
you have to
I
get
am ranked at like 29,000.
Oh,
but you
there
also
go.
have to be within a specific range. For instance, anything 80% below 80%, you do not receive a reward
Right.
for.
Right.
So you have to
Okay.
at least be in the 80% top 80% in order to earn something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll drop down and play some of the little ones and see if I can do about getting experience at least on how to play it right.
Well, that because it'll also give you credits and experience. So
Right. Right. Let's move on to Star Trek Online
Yes.
and some news that came out this week. A reminder to everybody: the new expansion, the Agents of Yesterday, is going live on Wednesday, July 6th. This is the new big expansion that
I
is
have been
at
playing as
TOS.
that Mac.
Yay! Oh, I'm glad
Right
to see
on.
you're back in game. It's gonna be
I
fun.
forgot he was in an Odyssey. Odyssey Science. And I
Sweet.
forgot for some reason when I outfitted that ship,
Mhm.
it's the Ming Zhuang. That's the USS Ming Zhuang. Little
Oh,
shout out to Vanguard.
how cool! Oh, Ming.
For some reason, it was all beams. I had no torpedoes on it, and I forgot that I had done that. And I went into because remember I set him up to support, and it was all Tetrion to take down shields, so that tax and engineers could hammer them with kinetic and all right. But when I went to play, boy, not having torpedoes, and I'm used to playing as Satan, had to alter the gameplay a little bit. So I went back in and I put in the Vadwar cluster torpedo and the other cluster torpedo, and outfitted it with the Undine anti-proton beams. Because now you don't have to train in a specific Tetrion or anti-protons or whatever. You're just training in energy beams.
Right.
Because it's not like, oh, you have to train on this. And because he was all trained on Tetrion. That's why I stayed with that.
And did you go back?
I did, and I jumped into an alert And let me say something, you motherfuckers.
Uh-oh.
There were 4 or 5 of us, I think it was 5, that jumped into I think it's the Vodwar alert, and within 10 seconds, 2 of them jumped out.
Oh,
And then the third jumped out, and it was me and one other guy with the dreadnought from All Good Things,
yeah.
and we were getting
Hammered.
creamed. Like
Yeah.
literally, as soon as I would respawn, I was getting blown up, and I was like, "Those motherfuckers!"
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I tend not to play the alerts. I really don't. But to be
Well, because
honest
he's
with
at
you,
level
I'm
52, so I
still
was just
doing
trying
what
to
I've
get the
been doing.
experience.
Yeah. No, I've still been doing what I've been doing and I've just been logging in and doing my summer event fly around, getting the thing so I can get the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of logging out, to be honest with you. I'm waiting. I have not played Agents of Yesterday on Tribble because I really am trying to keep from the spoilers. I want to see what's going
Same.
on. Although I am getting some very positive feedback from my friends who are in Tribble. So we pre-patched this week. I did pre-patch this week, so it's ready to go. But they did announce a new lockbox that is coming out, which is kind of raising
The
a
Infinity
slight,
one?
huh?
Which one? The Infinity one?
No, the Kelvin one. The Infinity
Oh,
one, I think the Infinity one we're going to see more and more. You know how every year or every
yeah.
time they introduce a new lockbox, they always made the previous ones available.
I think
Mhm.
the Infinity is going to be the stopgap
I
between each new
think it
one.
is too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I'm
And
fine with that.
I am
That's
too.
awesome.
they
Yeah, I
have
think
said
so
that
too.
they're going to be adding new stuff to it every time. So the
Yes.
previous box gets added to that.
So they don't have to worry about multiple pieces of art and
Oh,
all
so
blah,
the
blah, blah,
Infinity
blah,
will
blah.
just be a conglomeration of all the old ones.
And what's kind of
Yes.
nice is
I
that
like
I've
that.
already received like a mirror universe ship, right, from the previous lockbox. But the previous lockboxes have multiple mirror universe ships from which you can choose. So I get the box. When I open it, I get to choose which ship I want, which is
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about stocking up on the Infinity boxes and just keeping them,
That's
you
not
know.
a bad idea. And the
I
reason
still
why I'm
have like
doing it is because
60
now I
old
can determine
boxes.
what my alts need for their admiralty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have like 60 old boxes.
Yeah, so do I.
So
So do I.
yeah, me too. And I think I'm gonna dump them on the exchange or dump them because the Infinity boxes are so much better. So I'm
I
gonna
think so
keep
too.
those. But the new Kelvin
But the new Kelvin
boxes,
box.
now that is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You've got the battle cruiser, which is the same class as the Enterprise, I do believe,
It
as one of the big prizes.
is the JJ
I was going to say
Connie.
the Enterprise, Mike, you got to be a little more specific.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the Kelvin timeline Enterprise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny is that there's a lot of people going, see, here's your T6 Connie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here it is. It's
I'm okay
not,
with that.
I am too. I think it's great. But again, now of course everybody who wanted it are like, why'd you make it a goddamn lockbox one? Well, guess what? Too bad, because they're
It's how
smart. They need to make money.
Well, it's also how they can limit its numbers. I mean, they
True.
don't want everybody
True.
flying around in a Connie.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
very, very true. But you can also get the D4X Bird of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
And the Klingon uniforms, which I think are pretty freaking
Well,
cool.
this is the first time I think that they've had, instead of just one ship for the big prize, they've gone with 3, and each ship is faction specific.
Right. So is it going to
cool.
work like the Infinity, where if you get the ship, you get to pick which one you want?
No.
Okay.
If you're a Klingon and you open it, you're gonna get the Kelvin timeline Bird of Prey. If you're a Romulan, you're gonna get the Romulan carrier.
Got it. Okay, so it depends on what character you open the box on.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, Mike, I got to tell you, I went back in because
Sun says no. I'm wrong.
Oh.
That's all she says. No. No, Mike. Okay, I'm sorry. While she types up the answer, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, the lovely Janice is playing Star Trek Online now. So
Mhm.
I figured characters that I haven't played in a while, I'll go in and uh, play down, team up with her and take them down to her level. So I was telling Terry that I logged in as Winfield. First of all, it's been so long since I logged into him uh, that it was like crazy. Totally did not know what ship he had. I thought I was flying the escort carrier, and he's actually flying the Jem'Hadar battle cruise. It's like,
Very cool.
wow, I was thinking way off on that one.
Sun says that they have done it before, where they provide a faction specific ship as the main prize.
Okay.
They did it with the Wells box way back
Right.
when.
Right. That's true. Also, they are going to be releasing the Kelvin timeline Intel Dreadnought, which everybody pretty much remembers as being the Vengeance from Star Trek Into Darkness. That's going to be in the
Oh,
Lobi store,
joy.
in the Lobi store. It's not going to be in the box. It's going to be in the Lobi store.
That's okay.
Interesting.
I would use that for my Admiralty missions.
So
Yeah,
we're going to see a lot more of those than the Connies.
I think so.
It depends on how much low-buy it is.
Well,
Well, they're going for
probably
900 right now.
900 or 1,000.
I know, but there's a lot of people that still will refuse to do lock boxes, so you might not see as many of those as you think.
Yeah, but in terms of, I usually see more of the low buy ships than the actual lockbox ships, because
All my low-buy ships
Yeah.
go to my Admiralty missions.
Yeah. Well, except for, here's my thing, is I really do want to play through the T6 ships that I have in order to get the passive,
Mhm.
and then I'll
Right.
throw it into Admiralty.
Yeah.
Is there
Right on.
any word on Tier 6 Sovereign?
Not
Isn't there?
yet.
Not yet.
Not that I've heard. No.
Al, I know you listen.
I'm sure they're saving it for something.
Al. I'm looking at you, Al. Hey, Al, I have a request for you, and I'm being dead serious about this. The Romulan female that you had as the face of the Legend of Romulus expansion.
The Trippet.
No.
No,
The
that's the
green
Vulcan.
background, the beautiful,
Okay.
Yeah, and the female that they
yeah.
had, she was holding the rifle.
Badass. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
awesome.
she was really badass. Do you guys happen to have a full body of that? Because I really want to get her tattooed on my leg next to my Romulan symbol.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Al, I'll buy you something veggie at the convention.
So bring a full size photo of her to the con so Nick can get his tattoo.
Yay. All right.
One more thing for gaming news: the Temporal Agent rewards, like they did when they released the, what was it? It was, I can't remember when it was. Where
That was Recruit.
It was the Recruit. Okay, so basically where you go back, replay missions, and you discover little hidden Easter eggs in missions, and as you play through content or replay through content, you earn prizes for your other the other
Yeah.
characters on your account.
I'm finding some real huge changes with Mac with old missions that he hadn't played yet. Like, here's where I started out with Mac on this. I'm doing the Dyson Sphere missions. That's how far back. I've just started the Delta Quadrant with him. And I'm noticing some, at least if they're not changes, I sure as fuck don't remember them.
Yeah, I think they've fixed bugs and tightened up pretty much everything in preparation.
No,
for,
but I think additions to the story, it seems like, or changes in the story.
Like I said, I think that it's just stuff that they've gone over since in preparation for the new expansion. So yeah. Chat room reminds me that it's from the Delta Recruit, is what this system is reminiscent of, and like I said, you can earn rewards for your other players by playing through the new content with the new character and unlocking these specific, almost like Easter eggs. And you can get, R&D, specialization, admiralty. Um, as you're going through, you can get, additional rewards by completing these specific tasks, so to speak, on the new Agent of Yesterday character. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to leveling up my Agent of Yesterday character and unlocking those rewards for my other characters. I do have one question though. I don't recall seeing it, but I really hope they give us a free slot um, with the new expansion, because I'm completely out of slots.
I would hope so too. I don't know. I haven't
believe
heard
they
one
are.
way or the other. Yeah.
But I bought 4 more because I want to create one of every type. Because I don't have
I thought
enough
you only needed
characters.
to do one.
Oh, is Janet still here? Because her Romulan, her main character is a Romulan, but it's not. Uh, it's not in a fleet, so I was going to invite her to Caspian Rising.
Right.
It says she's not faction aligned.
That
Oh,
means
so
she hasn't
she went with
reached.
Klingon.
No, she's not aligned with any faction.
That means she's
She's
just
not a level 10 yet.
yeah.
Okay.
She hasn't gone that far yet.
Yeah. The what else? Oh. So are we good on gaming news?
I've got nothing else.
Okay. I do want to touch on a couple more things before we
Did
get
I
to
say
50.
Janet or Janice?
You did. You said Janet, but I
I'm
understood
sorry.
you meant Janice.
Too many
yes.
J's.
I want to touch on the book news real quick.
I got my Greg Cox book, the
Yay.
captain's one,
Oh, nice.
because I had pre-ordered all 3.
Oh, very cool. We did get the copy of the National Geographic Science in Star Trek book. It's beautiful. I haven't had a chance to delve into it yet. And the encyclopedia is still forthcoming. Yay. But that's not till October, I think, right?
Yeah, it's still a ways off.
Yeah. But seeing as though we're going to be talking about book news, I think it's a good time for us to kind of talk about book news and convention news at the same time. And that is with the book news and the convention news is we can finally say, yay, we're set for our guests at Star Trek Las Vegas.
There are 5 guests.
There are 5 guests. And they are Dayton Ward, Kevin Dillmore.
Boo! Yay!
Kevin
Oh, boy.
Dillmore,
Yay!
Paula Block,
Yay!
Terry Erdman,
Yay!
and the wonderful IDW artist J.K. Woodward.
Ah!
I was
Every
very
time
excited.
you type that, I keep thinking J.K. Rowling.
I know.
I get so excited.
I don't think James. I think James would be like, I'm tired of that. He's for those who may not know of JK's work, he's probably most well known in the Star Trek community because of his artwork done on the crossover with Doctor Who and Next Generation in the IDW comics. It's beautiful.
Assimilation,
beautiful
I
work.
believe, is what it's
It
called.
was Assimilation. It was amazing artwork. And he also has done some Klingon work. He's done some JJ verse comics. Just truly a talented artist. He will be at our table providing commissions of his work and selling but also autographing any of your comic books that you may already have. But he'll be doing artwork at the table. So I believe right
awesome.
now it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the convention that he will be there, and we are very welcome and very happy that he has
How long are
accepted
Kevin
our
and the
invite.
other guy with us?
And the other guy.
I have not gotten specific dates from them. I believe it's also Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, because they
Um,
have job.
Terry and Paula is Friday, Saturday. I believe they go home Sunday after their panel.
Yep,
So if you
So
have
happy that they're going to be with us.
I know.
if you have any of their books, Dayton and Kevin's, Terry and Paula's,
Bring them with
or
you.
JK's artwork, and you want it signed, make sure to pack it and bring it with you. We will be posting a schedule about when they will be available for autographs. Hopefully, it'll be on our site. If not, it'll definitely be at our booth, and just drop on by, and when it's their turn to sit at the table, they'll be more than happy to sign your stuff.
Yep. And that's and we're really happy that we had the space available to ask all of these wonderful people to join us this year at Star Trek Las Vegas. And some other news regarding Star Trek Las Vegas that you may or may not be aware of. This week there was how shall we say, an
Arrest?
oopsie
Oh.
on behalf
Oh.
of Creation Entertainment.
Oh.
Someone let the cat out of the bag.
Somebody
a little
let
too
a
early.
cat out of the bag, and we're not sure whether or not the cat was ever really solidly in the bag.
The Schrodinger thing.
The Schrodinger good thing, yeah. It's called the Fuller anomaly.
The Fuller Conundrum?
The Fuller Conundrum. This week, Creation Entertainment uploaded to their site that their 101st guest was Brian Fuller. And then
Say what?
And then 10 minutes later removed it from their website. So we don't know if he really is going to be their guest, if things are set in stone, if contracts have been signed, ... or if he is going to be a guest and they just accidentally released it before they really wanted to. So
Yeah, there might be a special announcement coming in the days coming.
Someone had to change their pants.
yeah, I think there was a slight slip up on that one. That
would be totally awesome.
So
to get him there.
There's a very real possibility Brian Fuller will be a guest at Star Trek Las Vegas this year, which is awesome.
Wow.
The other thing that surprised me wholly was that yesterday they made the announcement that the 2017 convention will be a creation event at the Rio, and it's going to be 5 days long.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Alan's upset about this.
Yeah.
It starts on August 2nd of 2017.
Yeah, not a good time for Alan.
Nope.
Oh,
not a good time.
Hi, Creation. Have you called Alan to confirm his dates?
Yeah, come on, folks.
They never
Get it
call.
together.
Recall. They never write.
They're like a child at camp.
So
hello,
here
Alan.
it was. This idea.
Hello, Terry.
This idea that maybe Creation had lost the license, but that has proven to be untrue. Creation Entertainment will be the provider of Star Trek Las Vegas official convention next year, at least in 2017. The dates are August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Rio in Las Vegas. They are not selling tickets just yet. They are not going to be booking rooms just yet, but they will be booking rooms while the convention goes on this year.
There you go.
So if you want to book your rooms for 2017, which on my estimation will be the 30th anniversary of Star Trek The Next Generation, then
maybe that's why it's 5 days long. Then.
I think it is. You'll want to book your rooms while you are at the convention this year.
Rianne, I'll book a room for you and I to room together.
Sweet.
So that you can annoy me again.
And he's not talking to Rihanna. He was talking to Rianne.
No, Rianne.
Just somebody different.
It's much cooler than Rihanna.
Ow.
So, yeah, that was kind of big news. I was not expecting that in light of Reed Pop's involvement with the Mission New York and possible other ones. Maybe they're going to be doing two different kinds of conventions now. I don't know.
Interesting.
So,
Real
but,
quick product news.
Interesting.
and a little bit of product news. Go for it,
Yes.
Mikey.
The TOS Bluetooth communicator handset is for sale now. It is being delivered. People have been receiving them and posting all kinds of photos.
And
I am
Angel just
so
got its
jealous.
wings.
I am so jealous. This thing looks awesome.
Is this the thing that Dayton wanted for Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It looks amazing. So if you want your very own working TOS communicator, there you go, $150. Wow.
It's a lot. It's less than an iPhone.
That it is, but it needs an iPhone.
It needs an iPhone
in order to work. But it's a nice, it's a beautiful add-on.
Well,
I'm
does it
just
work with
saying.
Android?
Yeah, it'll work with Android. I'm just saying you just need you need a smartphone.
Oh, that's fine.
Bluetooth connectivity for
God,
it. So.
you know how awesome it would be to walk around the convention actually using that?
I know. Cosplayers' wet dream. Finally, this item I am specifically going to be on the lookout for at the con. So, JVC, if you're listening to me, make sure there's one there for me.
We need to buy this thing.
I want the Klingon-inspired bag.
For women.
It's kind of like, shut up.
No.
It's like a messenger bag, but it's got the batleth. It's got magnets that keep the whole thing closed, and it looks like Klingon armor. I mean, come on, I need this in my life.
Why?
It's very cool. Oh, it's
From
fun.
a substandard culture. Galactic trash.
Oh, you bad man. You've
never listened to Shakespeare in the original Klingon.
Don't even try. Don't even try. I have listened, though, to Rocky Horror in the original Rihansu.
It's a.
You almost made me spit.
Mike, almost snarfed.
All right. I think we do have some general news, but that can wait till next week. If you guys haven't, I'm just going to throw it out there real quick. If you guys haven't seen the beautiful original model, film model for the Star Trek Enterprise that's been at the Smithsonian and has been under refurbishment at the Smithsonian, is now back in its brand new home at the Museum of Space and Flight and Space, right? What's the name of it, Nick? I've never been.
No, I was just thinking Animal House in the original Pac-Led.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Get over to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum and take a look.
My friend Tim Clark posted a photo of what was between he and the Enterprise, and it was a crowd like hundreds deep.
Yeah.
From Gates of Stovacor Hawuk, Mike Tripp is his name. He is a photographer for a newspaper, and he had the opportunity to go to the Space Museum to cover the unveiling, and he got a chance to meet Doug Drexler.
Yes, I saw the picture.
Totally
Doug Drexler
awesome.
was there, and there's this beautiful picture of Doug Drexler and Mike Tripp together. It's awesome.
Yep.
Drexler's the shit.
He is
Congratulations.
The shit. Yeah.
So
Okay.
50 for 50?
50 for 50.
Hi guys, how's
Alec,
it
you're
going?
on. I mean,
Hi.
Hi. Well, we're almost there. We've got 2 episodes left, and we're going to talk about the number 2 episode today. And that is a DS9 episode, Season 5, Episode 6, Trials and Tribulations. I have to admit, I'm kind of surprised this one landed so far up on our list.
Yeah, me too.
Just to give everybody a quick little recap, the episode starts with Captain Sisko. He is being visited by the Department of Temporal Investigations, Agents Dulmer and Luxley, and who come in their with like almost a dragnet demeanor to investigate an incident. And then we see the rest of the episode basically in flashback, which is Sisko explaining what happened, and basically the Defiant coming back from Cardassian space with a Bajoran orb of time. And they also have a passenger, a human who was trapped behind the lines, and he's very happy to be back.
Arn Darvin.
But then some... Sorry?
Arn Darvin.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Yes. Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler
Who
alert.
stopped recording?
I don't know. Somebody stopped recording.
It
but they're
was
still
me.
recording
It was
right now.
me. I just didn't need it. Sorry.
Okay.
So anyway, so suddenly something happens, and they find themselves 200 light years away and 100 years in the past, and they're next to Deep Space Station K7. The Enterprise is in orbit, and they've come to realize that basically they've been thrown back in time because the hitchhiker was actually Arn Darvin, who, as we know, was the bad guy in the original Trouble with Tribbles episode.
And what
He
race
is
would that be?
He was a Klingon.
Yes, he
Who
was.
was hiding, who was under, who has been altered to look like a human. And so anyway, he initiated the time orb to get them back in time because his plot is to do, basically he wants to assassinate Kirk in order to change the timeline so that he will no longer be the shunned, well, he was shunned from his defeat in the previous episode, and so he's looking to regain his glory and everything, and get rid of Kirk and change the timeline. And then the rest of the episode is them basically trying to find him and find out what he's trying to do. It turns out he sabotaged a tribble with a bomb that will go off near Kirk. They eventually discover it and thwart the plan and come back into the future. Because once the initial part of the episode is put into motion, the rest of it is just trying to find the bomb and thwart the plot. So that's it in a nutshell. What really is, I think, what really keys in for a lot of people in this episode and why it did score so highly is it's got such strong nostalgia to it. I mean, it was such an homage back to the original series, and to actually insert a DS9 storyline into a storyline that was already established and created, and it's almost kind of like that. I equate it kind of like to the second Back to the Future movie, where you're seeing the events of one episode play out, and then having this insertion of whole new material, and just seeing it all juxtaposed like that, I think is a big thing for the fans. They just love that sort of thing.
They
And,
definitely crossed the streams on this one.
Yeah, definitely. And they did some great things with it. I mean, to have some original footage, and then you would see one of the DS9 characters in the background.
Yeah, they Forrest Gumped it.
The fight scene was awesome.
Oh yeah, when they redo the fight scene in the in the bar,
It's
and
like,
of course they all get inserted into the fight now. So
yeah, it's almost as if the room just doubled in size. You're like now seeing where the DS9 characters are. It's like they're sitting on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah.
So you're seeing more. I don't know. You just get this feel that the place is suddenly a lot larger than what it was in the original series. I love what they did with it.
Oh yeah. Now I did have one criticism about the fight scene, and I think it goes back to let's talk about intellectual property. One of the delightful things about the original fight scene was the music that was playing during that, because it was very whimsical. It had a lot of energy. It was not your usual Star Trek music. And it was also saying that this is not a usual Star Trek kind of scene either. I mean, it was a barroom brawl, but it was also humorous because we also had was it Cyrano Jones is the trader that brings the triples on. And
Yes.
he's stealing drinks out of the bar and walking
Yes.
through with this unscathed drink while fighting is going on all around him. It's a
And
very
the great-
whimsical scene.
The great scene of the bartender just taking it out of his hand as he
Yes,
goes to
right.
drink
yes.
it.
At the very end, it's perfect.
But again, the music kind of went with that. And in the new episode, the DS9 episode, they didn't use any music like that. In fact, the music actually had kind of a regular fight sound to it. And to me,
It was very
undercut the
dramatic.
it undercut the comedy of it. But I think probably because they couldn't use the original music. And if you think about it, they probably would have had to pay a royalty to the composer.
Yeah,
And
licensing's a bitch.
and it's kind of funny because even within the actual Star Trek IP, they still have to respect the rights of people who have created intellectual property.
Do
before.
you get it yet, folks?
Yeah. I mean, even the professionals have to be cognizant of those sorts of things. I thought that was kind of an interesting aspect to the episode.
Yeah, I completely
A
agree.
couple of things. one, the difference in this episode, which was it the 25th or 30th anniversary of the original series, and that's why they did this.
It was the 30th anniversary because I know the other shows were all doing homages
well,
too.
Voyager was the only other one at the time, and they did the one where Tuvok was on the Excelsior.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Right.
to look at the difference in the two series and how they did it, just was amazing.
Yeah. And I like the
It-
way that both of them handled it differently. I liked that episode with, and they brought George Takei in
Yeah,
on Voyager.
one
And
Yeah.
Grace Lee Whitney.
Yes.
one paid homage to the films,
Yep.
which is what Voyager did, and obviously, this episode they paid homage to the original series, so they covered the entire universe with that.
The scenes between O'Brien and Bashir in this one, especially in the elevator, were just
Oh yeah.
hilarious.
I could be my own grandfather.
Yeah, I'd like to see your face when you wake up and I'm not there.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Well, the other thing too is that O'Brien.
The idea
can't-
that it's. Oh, go ahead, Mike. All right, Alan.
Well, I was just gonna say the other funny thing about it was O'Brien. It was kind of a running joke. Couldn't understand the old technology,
Yes.
Yeah,
even to use the elevator.
that
Yeah,
was
because they
funny.
walk in and they're like, deck 2.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. But I love that. I really did,
Yeah.
because really, if I went back, 120
And I'm sorry, but
years.
Bashir's hair in this episode,
Oh my God, so funny.
it reminds me every time I see it of Calvin and Hobbes when Calvin has to dress up
Yes.
and his hair's combed.
It's like
That's so true.
it's like getting into a car and realizing that you have to go outside and do the crank thing in order to get it started.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
oh,
But not
there's-
knowing that's what you need
yeah,
to do.
exactly. You get in the car to go and can't figure out where the key is.
And of course, every red-blooded heterosexual male, when Dax came out in the 24th century uniform,
Oh yeah.
23rd
yeah.
century,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was another thing though
And
too.
we found
that I
out
think-
that McCoy had the hands of a surgeon.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that was just it. The thing that was really wonderful about this episode that I liked, and I think is actually my favorite aspect, is Dax through the entire episode, and that's because she lived in that era with a different host. Dax did, and so she has these remembrances, and I really
She's,
got
like,
the feeling like
orgasmic
she was
over the-
having a nostalgia moment living in this era
So,
again.
so I
She's
have a
fangirling
question
all the
about
way.
that. I have a question
Yeah.
about that. Why did she need to remove her spots?
Because they hadn't found they hadn't come across the Trill yet.
No, they had, but they were not part of Starfleet.
They weren't in Starfleet yet.
because
Thank you.
the Trill,
Yeah.
they were
Because she talked about meeting McCoy when he was a
Yes.
student.
yeah,
Right.
and
wouldn't have-
she
okay,
was
so
a
her-
gymnast, so there was kind of like this Olympics that was
That's-
going on. but-
Got it.
and the Trill were involved in that, but they weren't a part of Starfleet
Thank
yet,
you.
officially.
That makes me okay.
Sure.
That
yeah.
makes me feel better.
No, but seeing everything through her eyes, she became just like the audience. She was a fangirl of the
Mhm.
era. I mean, even like, oh, look, he's so dreamy, and Cisco thinking she's talking about Kirk, and it's like, oh no, it's Spock. You know.
Well, the other thing about this was an opportunity lost.
Oh,
Dolmer and Luxley
oh yes.
are
Yeah.
anagrams of Mulder and Scully, and they had actually talked to
Yeah.
Fox and got the okay to use David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson to be the two agents, and then Fox pulled out at the last minute.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That
Yeah.
would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying.
That would have been really awesome to have that. So
Oh, that's hilarious. Now I have a question for you who have read the DTI novels.
Yes.
Are these the two characters
Yep.
in those books?
Yep.
There you go.
Yes.
And they also
Because they're
those book-
hilarious.
those books have also brought back the crew of the Bozeman, Kelsey Grammer's ship,
Yep.
Yep.
and they
Okay,
work with DTI, a bunch of them, and also people from the last episode of the first season of TNG with the humans that they found from like the 20th century and the Romulans. It ends with the Romulans saying, "And Captain, we're back."
Right.
A couple of those characters are DTI agents because to fit into the century, they're very good to have. So yeah, Christopher L. Bennett has done an amazing job taking um, characters that are displaced in time in the I guess current TNG era, and giving them kind of productive uh, work.
Well, they're putting their experiences with time displacement and time
And
to use.
and
Time
if you
displacement in time.
Yes, time
Mike
displacement in
Mike had a
time.
time loop.
but I have a feeling that's going to be the basis of the new characters in Star Trek Online.
Oh, wouldn't it be totally
Ah.
cool if there was
I
some
really do.
reference to?
I think that's what happens to your character. I think you roll a new character in TOS, you get lost in time and become a DTI agent.
That'd be cool. That'd be so
Have
cool.
you seen the new trailer for Star Trek Online?
No.
It sort of explains how you become an agent there.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, the one that actually has Daniels in the elevator.
Yeah.
Has what?
Yeah.
I saw a porno called Daniels in the Elevator. I doubt it's the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey,
Daniels.
what's going on?
Alan,
Followed
did-
by, of course, Daniel in the coal mine.
Daniel,
Never mind.
Alan, did,
Never
did you
mind.
hear Daniels in the elevator? Because I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What'd you hear?
I heard Dangles.
That was the
That's
sequel.
different.
It's like, yeah, the one with Dangles in the elevator, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to walk into that elevator.
Oh my god!
So,
Getting back to the episode, there's one other
Yes.
thing I wanted to point out, which
Sure.
I just
Is-
want to say real quick, Alan. Commander
Yeah.
Schultz should just stay clear of all elevators.
that is
anyway.
true.
yeah, I think so. The thing I wanted to
Shit,
point out
Vegas.
is what makes this episode actually technically so wonderful. Again, we know about the way they've inserted the characters into the old footage and everything, but I also like the way that they would actually do interactions. And the best one I think is at the very end when Kirk is been hit with the cascade of tribbles coming out of the compartment, and in the original episode, while they're continuing the scene, a tribble would roll out every so often and kind of hit him and distract him, and that was very humorous. But then to see in the DS9 episode them up there searching
Throwing
for
them.
and they're throwing them, and so they would throw one and then one would hit Kirk, and it was a great way to have that actually have an interaction between
was
the
great.
characters like
Now,
that.
have you gone back and watched The Trouble with Tribbles and thought of that in your head when that scene is happening, that they're up in the bin, that Cisco and Dax are in the bin throwing the Tribbles? Because I have.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah, so they
So-
really did an amazing job. And
Oh,
the
very
humor
good.
in it is just wonderful.
But it,
Oh,
And then, of
absolutely.
course, at the end, I would have done the same thing.
yes. But his
Yeah.
partner looking at him like, you moron.
And Terry, that kind of interplay between those two
Yeah.
goes on in the books, because
Love it.
one is very by the book, strict down the line, and the other's like, oh, come on.
That's awesome. Well,
I think
even
you would
more
enjoy
reason to
those
read
novels.
the DTI novels,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, they're
Right.
they're really good and they're fun. And
Agreed.
of course, Dayton's From History Shadow also
Yep.
kind of
I just
coincides
finished.
with the DTI novels.
Did you finish Elusive
I
Salvation,
did
my dear?
finish Elusive Salvation. Great book, and the
Am
way
I in
it
that one?
ends. I no, you're not. But the
Forget it.
way that it ends, no spoiler. But I have to say, I was like, holy shit! I cannot wait for the next one.
Sweet.
So Dayton, get on it.
Yeah, he has nothing better to do, Mike.
He's only
Man
writing
was in
books.
Disney World, for God's sake.
I
Love it.
know, but I cannot wait to get to see how this ends because this is amazing.
Huh,
Well,
Dayton
back
was in
to the
Disney.
trials and tribulations. Again, I am a little surprised that it ranked so high in our poll.
People love
I
the
think it's the
Tribbles,
nostalgia factor.
and people love DS9.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it ranked way up there. So and again, it goes to show that people like the time travel stuff. We bitch about it, but they love it.
Well, this was done way different than any other time travel episode, though.
Yeah, it was humorous.
Way different.
They went
Well,
with
that
the fun.
and the incorporation of the original series, the gumping of it, and all
Right.
of that.
Agreed.
Oh, the other great scene is when after the brawl when they all get disciplined.
If
The
they're
discipline
lined up.
scene. Yeah, and having and seeing
Oh, and having
Bashir and
O'Brien.
O'Brien in the line. That was
And then
that was
after he
awesome.
says, "We just got chewed out by Captain Kirk."
Right.
It's like, why
Oh,
does it,
but
of all
that
the
brings up
people in
another
that
good
line,
point
he had to
too.
come to me?
That brings up another good point too. When they're in the bar and they mistake just this random yellow shirt guy thinking that's Kirk.
Wasn't it
And I thought
Chekhov?
It was
They
Chekhov.
mistake Chekhov.
No,
it wasn't Chekhov.
it
There was
w-
a
it was-
third. There was a third one there.
Okay.
But the point, because he keeps saying he keeps ignoring them. He keeps ignoring them while they're talking about him. But I like the aspect from a writing standpoint is, you know what, these are historical figures, but they don't know them as well as we do because we know Star Trek.
Yeah.
But to think about somebody referring back to somebody that's 200 years earlier, they may not recognize who that person is. They know who they are intellectually. They just don't know who they look like. And have
If
that
you were in
little
a
mistaken
restaurant, would you know
identity
who
was
John
fun.
Blackjack Pershing was?
oh hell no.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah, can you recognize
Exactly.
Ralph Waldo Emerson?
Right.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Right.
Now,
But I just
the,
thought that was a nice writing moment there.
This was also the first time they started on the path of explaining why the Klingons look different.
Yes.
That's true.
Although they did put it off, which was funny unto itself.
With Worf saying, "It is. We do not speak with
We
outsiders."
do not speak with outsiders about this.
Kind of had to do that because
that was a great
reconcile
nod
it.
to they look different. Is with Klingons where? Right over there.
Yeah.
And then the look on Worf's Michael Dorn with the
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. So
we're
next
up to
week is
number
number one?
We're up to number 1, and we're going to announce it right now, and we'll talk about it next week.
Oh, wait
just
a
out of
minute.
curiosity, does anybody have a guess what it might be?
Oh no, it's 2 weeks. I thought I wouldn't be here next week because of shore leave, but that's in 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay. Well, here it is. It is DS9.
Hold on, let's take guesses. Terry,
Wait,
do you know?
I
Okay.
do know.
Well, Terry knows.
Okay.
It's a process of elimination, is it not?
I don't know. I wouldn't have put this one this high.
Well,
Mike?
first and foremost, we know it's a DS9 episode.
True.
And by
just
process of
said that.
elimination, the highest ranked DS9 episode that we haven't talked about yet? Come on.
Okay,
It's
well,
gotta
I'm
be.
announcing it. Season 6, episode 19, In the Pale Moonlight.
Ah,
There you go.
That's our number 1 episode, and we'll
Perfection.
discuss it next week.
Perfection.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the top
now,
3.
Yeah.
What were the top 3 again, Alan?
the top 3 going up as Best of Both Worlds, Part 1, Trials and Tribulations, In the Pale Moonlight.
It's quite a range in storytelling there.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
very, very much so.
Yep.
I mean, and well done to all of our listeners, really. And once again, you only have yourselves to blame if your favorite did not make it into the top 10, and either
and
you didn't.
let's talk about that for a moment because we'll talk about In the Pale Moonlight next week, but I want everybody to be thinking about this for the week after, and I also want to solicit our listeners to offer some points on this too. What episodes
My God.
from each series that didn't make the top 50 that you felt should have been up there or might be your guilty pleasure episode? Think about that, and we'll talk about that in a couple weeks.
Your guilty pleasure from each of the series, correct?
Yeah, one from each series I think would be talk about, because we're not going to go into depth on each one. We're just going to talk about them.
The Voyager, it's got to be Threshold.
Shut up. This is why we don't let him on.
And Steve comes in with the surgical strike.
Yeah. That's why we don't let him on.
Can I just give an honorable mention to TAS?
Absolutely.
As well as two episodes, or if I go with TAS,
No, as
Guilty
well
pleasure.
as.
You can bring up whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
No,
Okay.
no, he can't.
So that'll
freaking
be
Klingon
next week
episode.
on episode 245. But you're going to be gone. No, not next week. The week after
week
that. You're going
after,
to be gone,
yeah.
Nick?
The weekend of the 15th, yeah.
Then maybe we should hold off.
So maybe
Although
we'll
I
discuss the
might
week
not go
after.
down Sunday.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, because the week after that is the 24th. We could do
Right.
it then too. We'll leave it open. See how it goes, because I
Okay.
want you to be involved in that conversation. Awesome.
And we got word from shore leave. Karen Gillian's not doing any interviews.
Oh,
along with John Noble. So we
I
are
don't know
sad.
how I'm gonna chloroform her then.
You do know that if something ever happens to her, they're coming after you, right?
Yeah, but I'll have an alibi.
By the way, 4 weeks, 2 days, 0 hours, 36 minutes. I think we'll be in Vegas.
Oh my God, it's coming up so fast.
No, we won't be in Vegas yet because it's Sunday.
The 20.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the Sunday. No, that's the
Well,
right.
2
The
days.
31st. Yeah,
So 2 days is when the convention starts.
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah.
But we're not doing a show on the 31st. We don't do shows because
No.
we're usually recovering from Saturday night's craziness.
Well, we
Uh,
usually tape
Well, we
the
do.
show on the 31st at breakfast or lunch or something. remember?
No. This
No,
is the day
we
before we
do-
leave.
Oh, the day
Yeah,
before.
we-
Yeah,
yeah,
no, there's
we-
too much going on.
We
We
will
got to put
do.
Thundershirts on and the whole bit.
We'll do a cooking with show, but we're not sure what date
Right.
that'll fall on yet.
Right. We don't know
And
if it'll
that'll
be
be
Saturday or
our-
Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be our show. So keep an ear out on our social media.
We have many new fans. Please explain to them. Cooking with G&T, my idea.
It's when we all get together and we pretty much live stream us in the kitchen, taking
Being
your
drunk.
questions, being drunk.
Cooking
Pretty
dinner.
much.
Terry's
Cooking
cooking
dinner.
dinner.
Yep.
Let's see. 2 years ago, last year we had the stir fry, correct?
Mhm.
And 2 years ago we had, was it ribs? What was it? Steak?
Did we? I don't
No,
know.
it was the pesto.
The pesto. That's right.
Oh yeah. This year I'm not sure. We might do a prime rib.
Oh.
Cool. And
And
our
we had a
guest list
two-camera
is
shot
growing.
last year.
And I
What's
think
that?
we'll be streaming on YouTube
That's right.
again.
We'll do the 2-camera
It
setup.
might be Twitch. We will see what works out best. So yay.
Why
Mikey?
is
Should be
Sensei
exciting.
asking if Alan
What
and
did you
I are
just say?
bi?
No, Mikey just said something. I want to
Oh.
hear it.
Oh, I said it should be exciting.
Yes. It's fun to watch Mike discover a new drink like he did last year with the root beer.
That root
And
beer
this
was
year
awesome.
we will have the lovely Janice with us, as well as the Ferris Anomaly again.
Ferris Anomaly.
And there's a
Eleven.
chance that Ross may be joining us as well, I think.
Possibly. The door is open, that is for sure.
Steve and I will keep the home fires burning. We will
love
be
you guys so much.
No, Steve emailed me. He'll be there with us.
Damn it, then it's just me. It's just me. So that means pie for everybody. It's on Nick's
We gotta
tab.
get Janet there so she can make pie for us
I
all.
know.
Next time.
Okay.
Boysenberry?
Ooh, pie.
Okay.
Boysenberry blackberry?
Did you realize I can't make pie? I can make focaccia bread though.
Why can't you make pie?
I'm gonna have to learn.
Yeah.
Send me to pie school.
Your people invented pie.
Your
I'm
pe-
going to
your
pie
pe-
school, Ma.
Your people
You people can't stop me. I'm going to pie
Oh my
school.
God. I'm just choking here. Stop.
Your people invented pie. That's hilarious. Maybe we'll do pierogies.
Ooh.
You know what we do have to get though, Terry, just to show on camera?
Hmm.
One of those fakakta breakfast burritos from that restaurant down the road that was bigger than Mike's forearm.
Oh yeah, the range
Oh my God. And the pancake that was the size of Casey's head.
at the range.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the hotel?
No,
'Cause
no,
the
no, at the
pancakes at the
restaurant.
Rio were crazy big.
Oh, those are insane.
Those were stupid.
And then for our new listeners, we don't broadcast during the convention, but what we do is on Sunday, either at breakfast or a late lunch.
or Monday
we-
before our
Whenever
trek
we're
home.
most hungover.
Yeah, we do a convention wrap up that is usually the sound. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, our waiter stole the show.
Yeah, he did.
That guy was flipping awesome.
Yeah, he did. Well, we have a great setup this year. You know how our booth was set up last year with the one little travel desk, the little field desk?
hmm
Well, we
Yeah.
got two more of those.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So we'll actually have I wanted to be able to have a place for us to set up our gear
Yeah.
while our guests took front and center stage. So
Well, and that was great too last year because we were able to show what was being raffled off.
right. And we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm kind of hoarding things as they come through. We've got a wonderful set of Star Trek golf club covers in their little golf set. We have a couple of books. We have the Star Trek Trivial Pursuit game and the Galileo shuttle. So
Nice.
we've got a lot of really cool things to give away this year, and CBS has already said that they will be putting together a box of things for us to give away as well. As always, thank you, CBS. We love you.
Thank you.
Okay, that kind of does it for this week. Any announcements?
I believe last week, O Sports Show, some of their members were on vacation, so they did not have an episode. I think they're back though, so keep an eye out for them. So check them out; they're a lot of fun. Gates Stovall, Blood of the Near, Starfinder. We are progressing with our audio dramas. For Gates, we may be doing some recasting.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in joining the Gates of Stovall team, or if you want to lend your voice to Blood of the Near or Star Trek Starfinder, well, excuse me, Starfinder, a Star Trek fan production, go ahead and send us an email, and we'll work out an audition. So thank you.
Great. Miss Janet, what are you working on? You've got Lonely Rider. What can we do to assist you with that?
Well, currently the thunderclap came through. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody who supported. Very, very helpful. And currently I'm just working on that. I'm actually interviewing people who are either independent authors or are related somehow to the process. So, truth is, if anybody wants to be interviewed by me, it would be on YouTube, like a 5 to 20 minute thing, depends on how much stuff you've got to pimp. You can send me a note through hosts@gntshow.com, and maybe we can set something up. It does help my grade, but if you don't want to do it, that's fine. And anybody who's camera shy, I can do a slideshow.
Bazzy, that's a message for you, I think.
Yes. Yes, actually, I could talk to Bass. I talked to Jody Wheeler because he
Oh,
owns
cool.
a small publishing company.
Nice.
So I've been doing
nice.
things like that.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Nick, any announcements from you?
I'm awesome.
Oh, that we knew. And hey
And
there. And
That's it.
Alan, any announcements from you?
I'm just going to be doing some things
Some things?
and stuff.
Things and stuff. Cool.
stuff and things.
All right, everybody. If you need a hug and nobody's around, buy a Thundershirt.
Alec, dearest, the trailer will be posted on our site a little later.
Oh, dear God.
There you
Too
go.
funny.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
Until next week in episode 245, 245, 245.
273.
Just in case Michael Hinman needs to know what date it is, today is July 3rd, 2016. Happy 4th of July to all of our American listeners.
Mhm.
And happy Canada Day to our friends in Canada from earlier this week. And that's kind of it. Have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next week. Until then, live long and prosper.
Kapla!
Catch you
Happy
later.
Sunday. Oh, sorry. Happy Sunday.
Jolan True, KMG 365.